Let's begin by talking about something many of us grew up with: a glass of milk at the breakfast table. For decades, dairy milk has been presented as the foundation of strong bones and good health, and for good reason. It's naturally rich in calcium, protein, and vitamin B12, and when fortified, it provides the vitamin D our bones so desperately need as we age. For seniors especially, bone health isn't just about preventing fractures, it's about maintaining independence, confidence, and the freedom to move without fear. A simple slip can change the trajectory of someone's life, and that's why understanding dairy milk from a modern lens is so important. It isn't about following tradition blindly, it's about using tradition intelligently. As we get older, our bodies don't process foods the same way they once did. Some seniors continue to thrive on dairy milk, while others find themselves struggling with digestive issues like bloating, cramps, or intolerance. Lactose intolerance, for example, becomes increasingly common with age, not because milk suddenly changes, but because our digestive enzymes decrease over time. This means that what was once easy for the body to handle now becomes more challenging. And so the choice of milk should no longer be automatic. It should be conscious, tailored, and strategic. When we look at dairy milk today, it's not just a question of if we should drink it, but which kind we should drink. Whole milk, once considered the default, carries more saturated fat than is ideal for aging hearts. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it does mean moderation and personalization are key. For many seniors, switching to low-fat or skim versions allows them to reap the nutritional benefits: protein for muscle strength, calcium, and vitamin D for bones, without burdening the cardiovascular system with excess fat. It's about refining tradition to fit the needs of the body at this stage of life. But there's another layer we need to acknowledge. Food is never just nutrition, it's also emotional. For many seniors, the taste of milk is tied to childhood memories, family meals, and comfort. Removing it entirely may feel like losing a part of themselves. This is why the conversation isn't about abandoning dairy milk, but rather about rethinking it. Instead of saying, "I can't have milk anymore," the mindset should shift toward, "How can I make milk work for me now?" That simple change of perspective is empowering because it puts choice back in your hands rather than making you feel deprived. Philosophically, dairy milk can also teach us an important lesson about aging itself. Growing older doesn't mean rejecting the past. It means adjusting the past so it continues to serve us. Just as we wouldn't run marathons in our 70s the same way we did in our 20s, we also shouldn't consume milk the way we did decades ago without reconsideration. The wisdom of aging lies in adaptation. And adaptation doesn't weaken us, it strengthens us because it proves we are capable of change. There's also the science of fortification to consider. Modern dairy milk is often fortified with vitamin D, which is something many older adults lack, especially those who don't get much sun exposure. This fortification makes milk more than just a beverage. It makes it a therapeutic tool. Vitamin D works hand in hand with calcium, almost like a key fitting into a lock, unlocking the mineral's potential to strengthen bones. Without it, calcium doesn't do its job effectively. So, for seniors, a glass of fortified low-fat milk isn't just tradition. It's a form of proactive health care. Of course, there will always be debates about dairy milk, concerns about hormones, about the sustainability of dairy farming, about whether plant-based options are cleaner. These debates are valid, and they push us toward awareness and responsibility. But for seniors who tolerate dairy, it remains one of the most reliable, nutrient-dense, and accessible options for supporting health. The key is not to see it as an unquestionable staple, nor as an enemy, but as a powerful option when chosen wisely and used thoughtfully. When you think about it this way, dairy milk symbolizes balance. It reminds us that the answer to health isn't found in extremes, neither in clinging to old habits without thought, nor in rejecting them out of fear. True health lies in discernment, in asking, what does my body need today, and how can I honor that need with the choices I make? That is the philosophy of aging well, not clinging, not rejecting, but adapting. And so, if you find yourself reaching for a glass of milk tomorrow morning, pause for just a moment. Don't drink it out of habit. Drink it with awareness. Ask yourself, is this the type of milk my body can handle? Is it giving me strength, or is it making me feel sluggish? That act of mindfulness transforms a simple glass into a daily act of self-care. Because in the end, dairy milk isn't just about bones or protein. It's about the larger truth it represents. That health in later life comes from making choices with wisdom rather than with nostalgia. Tradition is valuable, but only when it serves the present. And so, Let every sip remind you that aging well isn't about holding on. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you while keeping and refining the things that do. The next time you look at a carton of milk, don't just see a drink. See a choice. A choice that can strengthen your bones, support your independence, and remind you that even in aging, you have the power to shape your health. That's the real gift of tradition, when it evolves with you. It keeps serving you for a lifetime. When we think about almond milk, we're not just talking about a trendy alternative to dairy, but a reflection of how nature gives us exactly what we need when we begin to listen to our bodies more carefully. For seniors, this listening becomes even more important. The body no longer tolerates the same heaviness it once did. Foods that were once comforting may now lead to bloating, sluggish digestion, or a heaviness that lingers in both the body and the mind. This is where almond milk comes in, not just as a substitute, but as a gentle ally that helps the body age with grace. Almond milk is naturally light. It doesn't burden the digestive system the way full-fat dairy or even certain other plant-based milks might. This lightness is not a trivial detail. It's a quality that speaks directly to the way our metabolism evolves as we grow older. The digestive system slows down, the enzymes we produce lessen, and the body becomes more selective in how it manages what we put into it. A lighter food doesn't just mean fewer calories, it means easier assimilation, less strain on the stomach, and more efficient energy release. Seniors often struggle with indigestion, reflux, or even chronic bloating. Almond milk eases those burdens. It delivers nutrients without demanding too much effort from the body, and that conservation of energy is itself a form of healing. But there's another layer here, one that speaks to the heart. Literally, almonds are rich in compounds that support cardiovascular health. Almond milk, while less concentrated than whole almonds, still carries the essence of this benefit. It is low in saturated fat and contains no cholesterol, qualities that directly benefit the heart. Seniors live with a heightened awareness of cardiovascular risk, whether it's high blood pressure, plaque buildup, or the threat of stroke. A heart-friendly option like almond milk might seem like a small choice, but the accumulation of such small choices creates the foundation for longer, healthier living. The richness of almond milk is not in its density, but in its subtlety. It provides vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect the body from oxidative stress. Think about that for a moment. Oxidative stress is one of the silent culprits behind aging itself. It wears away at our cells, damages our DNA, and accelerates the processes that make us feel weaker and older than we are. By choosing foods that are rich in antioxidants, like almond milk, we aren't just eating, we're defending ourselves. We're standing at the front lines of the aging process and saying, not today, not this easily. There's also something profoundly psychological about drinking almond milk. Its very nature is calming. It doesn't have the intensity of whole milk, nor the heaviness of cream. Instead, it offers a softer, more delicate experience. For many seniors, this subtlety is a blessing. It reminds them that aging does not mean deprivation. It means refinement. Just as we grow wiser in thought, so too does our diet become more refined, less about indulgence and more about harmony. Almond milk mirrors this stage of life beautifully. It teaches us that nourishment can be gentle and still profoundly effective. Now, some may raise the concern that almond milk is not as protein-rich as cow's milk. That's true, but here's where perspective matters. Seniors often consume protein through other means: lean meats, fish, legumes, or fortified cereals. What almond milk offers is not the bulk of protein, but a balancing counterpart: hydration, heart protection, antioxidant defense, and digestibility. Its role is not to be everything, but to be one supportive piece of the larger puzzle of wellness. When seen in that light, almond milk holds its place with quiet dignity. There's also a symbolic dimension here. Almond milk, made by soaking and blending almonds with water, is essentially a product of transformation. It takes something solid and turns it into something fluid, something easy to consume, something versatile. That transformation mirrors the journey of aging itself. In our younger years, we may be strong and rigid like the whole almond. But as we age, we must become more fluid, more adaptable, and gentler with ourselves. Almond milk represents that shift beautifully, a reminder that flexibility, softness, and gentleness are not weaknesses but strengths. And perhaps that is the greatest gift almond milk offers seniors: the permission to embrace simplicity, to choose foods that do not fight the body, but flow with it. To understand that health is not always about the bold and the strong, but often about the subtle and the consistent. Day after day, small choices accumulate into powerful outcomes. So when you pour almond milk into your morning coffee or add it to a bowl of oatmeal, know that you're doing more than just making a dietary swap. You are making a statement that your body deserves foods that are light, heart conscious, and aligned with the rhythms of aging well. You are reminding yourself that wellness is not about holding on to youth with desperation, but about nurturing the body you have now with wisdom and compassion. And if there is one idea to hold on to here, let it be this: sometimes the gentlest choices carry the greatest power. Almond milk may seem like a modest addition to your diet, but in its quietness lies a profound truth that in the second half of life, strength is found not in force, but in harmony. And harmony begins with how we nourish ourselves, one mindful sip at a time. When we turn our attention to soy milk, we're not just looking at another plant-based alternative. We're looking at one of nature's most complete gifts for sustaining strength and vitality as we age. For seniors, the conversation about nutrition always circles back to two critical issues: maintaining muscle and protecting bones. These are not abstract concerns. They determine how mobile you'll be, how independent you'll remain, and how gracefully you'll experience the years ahead. Soy milk sits at the center of this discussion because it offers a rare combination of protein and minerals that directly support these two foundations of aging well. Let's start with protein. As the years go by, your body's ability to synthesize protein declines. That means even if you're eating the same foods you did in your 40s, the body no longer builds muscle with the same efficiency. That's why so many seniors notice a gradual weakening, a shrinking of muscle mass that feels both frustrating and inevitable. But it's not entirely inevitable, it's a signal to adapt. Soy milk is unique among plant-based options because it contains complete protein. That means it provides all 9 essential amino acids, the building blocks your body cannot make on its own. These amino acids are crucial for preserving lean muscle mass, which in turn stabilizes balance, prevents falls, and maintains metabolic health. Think about it this way: every time you sip soy milk, you're not just hydrating, you're feeding your muscles. You're giving your body the raw materials it needs to repair and regenerate, even as time tries to pull those resources away. It's a small act of resistance against the natural pull of aging, and it adds up with consistency. But muscle is only part of the story. Bones, too, demand our attention. With age comes the looming concern of osteoporosis, a silent thief that gradually erodes bone density. Many assume that only cow's milk has the power to strengthen bones, but soy milk tells a different story. Most varieties are fortified with calcium and vitamin D, two nutrients that form the cornerstone of bone health. Calcium builds the scaffolding of your skeleton, while vitamin D ensures that calcium is actually absorbed and used effectively. Without vitamin D, calcium is like bricks without mortar, plenty of material, but no way to build. Soy milk offers both, often in quantities that rival or even surpass cow's milk, depending on the brand. What makes this pairing so powerful is that it works in tandem with soy's natural phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds that mimic some of the effects of estrogen in the body. For postmenopausal women, especially, this is no small advantage. The drop in estrogen is one of the primary reasons bone loss accelerates after menopause. Soy's phytoestrogens gently step in to soften this decline, offering a measure of protection that is both natural and safe. This is why many researchers have studied soy as a supportive food in the fight against osteoporosis. It doesn't replace estrogen, but it provides a cushioning effect that can make a meaningful difference. There's also a broader story about soy milk that ties into the philosophy of aging with wisdom. It represents balance. Unlike dairy, which can sometimes bring along saturated fats that strain the heart, soy milk is naturally low in unhealthy fats and cholesterol-free. It nourishes without overburdening. For seniors who are often managing multiple health concerns at once, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, soy milk offers a sense of balance. It supports muscle and bone without tipping the scales in the wrong direction for cardiovascular health. Of course, no food exists in isolation. A glass of soy milk won't transform your body overnight, and it shouldn't be seen as a miracle cure. But what it does represent is a shift in perspective, moving from reactive care to proactive care. Instead of waiting for bones to weaken or muscles to shrink, you nourish them daily, consistently, and deliberately. That's how aging is best approached, not with sudden fixes, but with steady, thoughtful choices that accumulate into lasting strength. There's also a psychological depth here. Drinking soy milk is, in many ways, an act of affirmation. It says, I am still building. I am still strengthening. I am still investing in my future self. That mindset is powerful. Too often, seniors are told to accept decline as inevitable, but nutrition like this shows that decline is not the only path forward. There are tools, there are strategies, and there are foods, like soy milk, that remind us our bodies still respond, still adapt, and still grow stronger when given the right support. In the end, the story of soy milk is not just about protein and bones. It's about reclaiming agency over the aging process. It's about realizing that small, intentional choices can ripple outward into profound impacts on independence, vitality, and quality of life. When you lift that glass of soy milk, you are not just nourishing your body, you are making a quiet but powerful declaration that strength and stability are still within reach, and that aging gracefully means never giving up on growth. So remember this: every sip is a seed planted for tomorrow's strength. And when you invest in your strength, you're investing in your freedom, the freedom to move, to live fully, and to remain rooted in vitality for as long as possible. When we come to oat milk, we're entering a conversation that is about more than just nutrition. It's about how the body heals, balances, and sustains itself over time. For seniors, digestive comfort and heart health often sit at the top of the list of daily concerns. These are not minor issues. They determine whether you feel light and energized after a meal or weighed down and sluggish. They influence whether you climb the stairs with confidence or pause halfway with your hand pressed against your chest. Oat milk may look simple, almost ordinary, but within its creamy texture lies a remarkable capacity to support two of the most vital systems of the aging body, the digestive tract and the cardiovascular system. What sets oat milk apart is its fiber content, specifically a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. If soy milk is the drink that builds and almond milk is the one that protects, oat milk is the drink that regulates. Beta-glucan works like a natural broom inside the digestive system. It gently slows the movement of food, allowing for better absorption of nutrients while also keeping blood sugar from spiking too quickly after meals. For seniors, this is incredibly important because blood sugar fluctuations can create not only fatigue and brain fog, but also long-term risks tied to diabetes. But beta-glucan doesn't stop there. Once it enters the intestines, it binds to cholesterol and helps escort it out of the body. Think about that. A glass of oat milk can literally help reduce the buildup of harmful cholesterol in the bloodstream, the very substance that stiffens arteries and restricts the flow of life, giving blood to the heart and brain. Over time, this gentle, daily support translates into lower LDL cholesterol levels, more flexible arteries, and a reduced risk of heart disease. For someone in their 70s or 80s, that's not just a nutritional perk, it's a lifeline. There's also a deeper psychological truth in choosing oat milk. It represents the wisdom of slowing things down. The body in youth thrives on quick bursts of energy, on fast digesting sugars and rapid spikes of vitality. But in age, what you need is steadiness. A slow release of energy, a digestive rhythm that is calm and consistent, a cardiovascular system that beats not with urgency, but with strength and ease. Oat milk embodies that steadiness. It fuels the body with a kind of quiet reliability, smoothing out the ups and downs so many seniors experience after meals. This steadiness extends beyond the physical. Imagine beginning your morning with a glass of oat milk, perhaps poured over a bowl of fruit or blended into a smoothie. What you are really doing is giving your body a message. Today we move at a pace of balance. Today we fuel in a way that sustains, not overwhelms. It is a subtle shift, but it carries with it a sense of peace and control. And that is something every senior deserves, to feel not at the mercy of digestion or the unpredictability of heart rhythms, but rather anchored by nourishment that works in harmony with the body. And there's more to this story. Oat milk is naturally lactose-free and often fortified with key nutrients like calcium, vitamin D, and B vitamins. For those who struggle with dairy intolerance, a problem that becomes more common as we age, oat milk offers a comfortable alternative that doesn't bring the bloating, gas, or discomfort so many silently endure. That comfort is not trivial. When digestion is easy, energy is liberated. You move more freely, you think more clearly, and you live more fully. What I find profound about oat milk is how it speaks to the interconnectedness of the human body. By supporting digestion, it indirectly supports immunity, because so much of our immune system resides in the gut. By lowering cholesterol, it protects the heart, which in turn ensures steady blood flow to the brain, protecting memory and cognitive clarity. In a very real sense, oat milk represents the web of health, where one choice reverberates across multiple systems. It reminds us that there are no isolated organs. There is only one unified body, responding moment by moment to the care we offer it. For seniors, this message is crucial. You are not powerless against the challenges of aging. You can choose foods that make a tangible difference. You can choose foods that whisper to your body, you are supported. you are protected, you are cared for. And oat milk is one of those foods. So when you think of oat milk, don't think of it as just another trendy option on the supermarket shelf. Think of it as a partner in your journey, a digestive ally, and a heart protector. Think of it as a daily act of self-respect, a commitment to stability, comfort, and long-term vitality. And let this thought linger with you. Every sip you take is a chance to restore balance in your body, balance in digestion, balance in the heart, balance in the way energy flows through your day. That balance, once claimed, becomes the foundation for a life lived with clarity, strength, and peace. And isn't that what aging well is really about?